All right, the recording has started, and this is the September 22nd, 2020 Rook community meeting. Let's go ahead and start with our upcoming milestones. 1.3, we do not have any planned patch releases back for that, but we are anticipating a 1.4 patch release coming up, targeting next week. Charles, do you want to talk about some of the important issues that would be included in that patch release or some of the status there?
Yeah, I guess first of all, we got the 1.4.4 release out. Was it a whole week ago now? Last Tuesday. Time flies. And that was just a weekend after the 1.4.1.4.3 where there was a blocking issue for some clusters to upgrade that were based on PVCs. OSDs were not, Mons were getting stuck upgrading. So we got that fixed out. So I don't know of any urgent fixes to get out. So I put that date on there potentially for next Thursday to get the .5 release out. I'm blanking right now on what all is already in the release branch that would be included with that, but we could do it this week if necessary, but I think next week should be fine from my perspective.
Yeah, it's not super pressing.
Yeah, I didn't update this board before this meeting either. So like that one and the blocking release is already resolved, so that should be moved over.
I'm sorry, I was going to add another agenda item. I realized, whoa.
Nice clock.
Solid.
Yep. Sorry. So I moved that one over. That was the blocking issue from 1.4.4 that we got out. Otherwise, yep, just standard fixes going on.
All right, cool. So no other particular issues to dive into here on the board for 1.4 patch release, and for anybody else?
Yeah, I'm good, unless anybody else has something to bring up. Guess not.
Is this one's closed here, Travis? Is this what was the resolution of this?
So, was that? Oh, it was closed by the PR. Yeah, I'll drag it over. It'll be in the next.
Perfect.
Release.
All right. Nice. Okay. All right. So back to the agenda. Excuse me, the agenda document then. So we are, working towards the next major release of 1.5 for KubeCon North America, which is mid-November, November 17th is when that starts. We'd want to do the release probably the week before that so that it's out there. We can have blog posts, et cetera, things like that. I had another point on 1.5. What was it? Oh, yeah, Travis, you merged the roadmap updates for 1.5. So kind of the upcoming features or things that kind of the high level themes, et cetera, that we plan to include in 1.5 are now reflected in the roadmap that's in master branch.
That's right. Yep.
Yep. Any like issues to talk through for like a board view there, or?
Yeah, not that I can think of right now. I think I'll just put a date here targeting November 10th for the release. Right.
Yeah, is that the Monday before?
Yeah, it's a Wednesday. Let's see.
Oh, KubeCon starts on a Wednesday?
No, wait, that is 10th is a Tuesday. Okay.
Ah.
So I was, yeah, let's say a week before the KubeCon.
1 week
make
before
sure we get it out in time.
That makes sense. Cool. Have we already started tracking on a 1.5 board, or is it kind of in flux a little bit?
There are some features there, but we're about to transition, I feel like, from focusing on 1.4 patches to kind of 1.5 features. So we'll have more coming on the 1.5 project
cool
board.
I added the project board to the agenda doc, so it's there for next time as well.
Oh. And with the roadmap, yeah, I tried to make sure whatever was in the roadmap for 1.5 is in the 1.5 board. It's an ongoing struggle though. So
Ongoing.
you add issues there, whoever's working on them. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good.
And the NFS items that you suggested for that, they're already done in master, right? I think since.
Yeah, all of them are done in master except for the disk quota.
Oh, there's that one right there.
Yeah, yeah, that one's still open for review.
In review. Cool.
Yep. Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, anything else on the 1.5 board here?
Not from my side.
Okay. All right, then if that's everything for our milestones, then we can proceed on to the community section. So graduation is still ongoing. We're still 1 vote short. We have no negative votes, which is a good thing, but we are 1 vote short still. So we still need 1 more person to come through and render their judgment, so to speak. The atmosphere from the CNCF, including their marketing department as well, is that it's very, very positive outlook. We've proceeded with like press release stuff and write-ups and everything, so it seems like the expectation is there, but the votes are not. So we will, if I've been instructed to continue sitting on a holding pattern. I think like obviously before as we get closer to KubeCon, like there's going to be a definite push here that either is expected for the TOC to go ahead and move things through the pipeline, but we should make more noise as well to ourselves that, hey, we were targeting KubeCon March for this. So KubeCon in November is something that we would really appreciate. So I think that's not unreasonable to make more noise about that.
To just get 1 more vote.
Yeah. Or
and they did say, yeah, Amy said, what was it? So after we get that vote, then maybe 1 week until we make the official announcement, just to get all the press release ready.
Yeah, which is totally fine. No problem with that.
Yep. So okay. Definitely looking forward to that vote. The vote that never ends.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Alex, you have a topic here for new ticket labels.
Yes. I would like to more or less ask if anyone finds if that would be useful to have 2 new labels regarding, well, especially bugs. If basically, well, they're confirmed to be an actual bug, or well, being unconfirmed, that they're not yet confirmed to be a bug or something. At least it was my idea behind it. Yeah. So
are you saying it's so we know which ones have sort of been accepted, so we know we want to work on them, versus others that are just under investigation, or
kind of, it's basically what the words say. Like if it's if I create a bug, an issue as a bug on GitHub, and in the end it's not a bug, it's something else. But that's kind of like a bit of triaging to have the bugs which have been confirmed to be an actual bug, or not maybe, I don't know, wrong something wrong in the Ceph cluster YAML or something of the person. That we have kind of like a way to tell those apart, so to say.
And Alex, what is that? Help me understand kind of the flow here, or what the decisions would be made, or actions that would be taken based on this information. What is that to help identify like issues that we know are bugs, and that we could put engineering resources on fixing them or prioritizing them? Or is it more about identifying issues that we aren't sure of yet, so we need to take more looks into them to understand if they're issues? Is there like a more of those? Which one of those is more of a priority for you?
It's a mix of both worlds. For the first part, it's let's with that, being able to just select after the label confirmed to see, oh, those bugs have been confirmed, like with, there's reproducible commands and all that we can easily, hopefully get them fixed. So we can focus resources efficiently there on the tasks, well, which have been confirmed. Well, especially also even on the ones that have not confirmed, have not yet been confirmed, to look into if they're really a bug or if, if it's something else maybe. But also on the hand of planning, that we're able to more or less a bit plan there for the releases as well.
Yeah, another idea is if we use the project board to really track what we want to prioritize for the next release, right? Sometimes when I'm looking at a bug and I say, oh yeah, I really want that fixed in the next release, well then I'll just immediately put it in the project board and say, well, let's get this in the 1.4 project, make sure it's backported for the next patch release. So that's kind of how I've been prioritizing, at least, is saying, well, what release do we want it in, 1.4 or 1.5 right now?
At least, well, my idea, it's good to get feedback on that. It's more or less not necessarily on the prioritizing part there, but more on the it may seem weird, but there's probably a few issues which, well, are not it's not with priority there. It's more about new bug tickets. Someone investigates and sees, oh yeah, this is an actual bug, and basically puts like a confirmed label or something, which probably for most bugs, would result in them just being added to the project board. So yeah, we kind of have that with that when we are using the project board with that.
Is one possibility here, Alex, to have some automation that, like, for any new bug that is opened or new issue that's opened, that it automatically gets an unconfirmed label on it, and then if you
that would be possible.
I see, and then if somebody looks at it, they can remove the unconfirmed label, and like it's implicit that if an issue doesn't have that unconfirmed label, then it's.
We could have it like this as well. Yeah, so like the idea is that we have a good amount of tickets open, and looking back at a bunch of them, well, to put like it's either some just don't really get any attention because of resources, but also, if there's like an issue, looking at the garbage collection issue with CSI driver and so on, that, walking through the steps the person has provided to see if it's reproducible and all that, it would be a way, then, as I said, like to focus the resources there. And if I create an issue, we as a team can walk through it and see like, oh yeah, the steps to reproduce now, and we can look into, well, if it's even really reproducible, and based on that see, oh yeah, it's actually a bug, and then we'll fix it. Or, try to get the person to add more information and so on, that we would be able then to see if it's basically a confirmed bug or if it's an unconfirmed bug, so to say.
Well, and if we want this label, I think I'd vote for a confirmed label that you add after you've confirmed it, but not have an unconfirmed label, since everything is unconfirmed by default without the label, right?
Yeah, so it's more or less like the concept in the end that came to my mind there. That there's like, especially like with tickets being closed after a time by the well, inactivity bots or whatever it's called.
The stale bot.
So some tickets, stale bot, yeah, exactly. Like some tickets, then like, oh yeah, there was something, like now it's like, oh yeah, I totally missed this ticket or something. And having like a confirmed label maybe more or less like makes it, well, a bit more easy to spot the tasks which are really like, yep, we confirmed this is an issue and we need to work on this quick, or more or less like then with the prioritizing in the project board per release, if there's even a fix possible for like 1.3, 1.4, and so on and so on. Yeah.
Maybe we can create the confirmed label. Let's just try it. That sounds good.
Yeah, it'd be nice to think about too, like anytime you have process of somebody has to do something that, that often results in either, you have to like teach that new behavior or incentivize that behavior or something. But,
well, it goes the same way for the project part, like I would say, like we should we should do that all the time. Well, we should always add the issue if we know that it's something confirmed in the end to the project board as well. But
agreed.
Yeah.
Cool.
On a related topic, something to consider also is we have several labels that will cause the stale bot to not close the issue, like anything with the security label or reliability label or the keep alive label will not be closed by the stale bot, but other things will.
That poor little stale bot just does its job and people get mad at it.
Yeah, I do find it helpful to remind me of important things after 3 months.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, same.
Like,
or realize that they're not important.
Got a bunch of emails over the weekend as well and saw some issues where it's like, oh yeah, well, yeah, something confirmed, so to say, that we should act on as a bug or something, or at least like a documentation change. But it, just got flooded by the mass of, things going on. So it's kind of a good thing, at least from this perspective.
Yep. Cool. Okay, so next topic so we got a inbound message from a security researcher about our Jenkins instance being publicly accessible, which to my understanding is by design, right? We want the Jenkins instance to be available for people to go see the status of builds, for people to be able to, like see reasons why builds failed, etc. We have
Are you sure that it was about Jenkins being publicly available? As far as I understood the mail, it is about the Jenkins being publicly available, but there is a security, like a plugin having a security issue or something. Isn't that what the mail?
It sounds like it was just though it was public. I didn't see anything else about a specific plugin.
I thought it was saying something like with a plugin or something.
Right. Well, did you see? I mean, that was my response, saying that this is to bring this up so to get confirmation from everybody that you agree with my assessment that yes, it's intentionally publicly accessible, but we use the GitHub authentication plugins to lock it down from people being able to have any write access or be able to change configuration or get access to security settings or anything like that. So it's my understanding, and then any sensitive information is obfuscated in build output. So my understanding is, as we've had this configuration going for a long time, that this is perfectly by design, that this is something that we've actually desired for the community to be able to access Jenkins. And so that's what I responded to the security researcher with. And then I think he replied only to me, maybe saying that, okay, I'll let you know if I find any vulnerabilities after that. So it seemed like that was okay.
Oh, cool. By the way, I also forwarded it to Adam just to get his independent opinion on the email and security and things. And he said, oh yeah, it's just publicly available. You want to pay it publicly available, right? Well, yes.
Okay, good.
So he said the same thing you did. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, I misunderstood the email there. I thought it was about like a plugin or something, as Jenkins previously wasn't in such a maintained state as it is right now. So more or less also, again, a thanks to Adam for taking care of the permissions for the Jenkins there.
Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, previously, I think, Jared, you might remember, Travis, you as well, like logging in, and it was basically, a bit of a red text there, remember, with the plugins?
A lot of plugins being old, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think we still got some of that to update, but it's definitely better now.
Well, it's better. That's awesome.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. Thanks for confirming, everybody. And then also I noticed too, when through that interaction with the inbound security message, that our not all of our mailing lists, since we migrated to the CNCF mailing lists, not all of them, excuse me, will include the sender to the list in the replies. I think it's a really odd design choice about the lists, email lists at .cncf.io, is that by default, like you'll hit reply all, and you can't include the person who emailed the list in the first place. So they don't see your replies by default, which doesn't make much sense to me. But so I opened up a service desk ticket to get that fixed, because we don't have access to fix that. So that's I think Ihor said that he's going to be fixing that. He may have already done that, but the service desk ticket is open for that.
Sounds good.
I think if you remember, like the last time we got an issue over that as well, I think like the Cassandra issue we had, it was basically similar. I just replied. Same. I was like, why am I not getting a response? And I was like,
we got it fixed for that list. That we got it fixed for that list, but not the other lists.
Oh,
there's multiple lists.
Oh well. Good that we got that fixed. Thanks.
Okay, cool. Okay, then roadmap. Any other updates to add to the roadmap that?
Yeah, I think you already touched on it up there. I just added it here for follow-up to see if there are other things. Yeah, we just need a new PR if anybody's planning on something for 1.5. That's all.
Cool. Okay. And please do let us know if there are any items.
Yep. The next one, just remembered. So there is an outreachy program, which is basically for interns, similar to that. I think it's the same sort of requirements and things as the Google Summer of Code.
What is outreachy? Like what organization? Where does that come from? Because I know of Google Summer of Code, and I know of a community bridge that the CNCF runs. What is outreachy?
I'm trying to remember. It's outreachy.org. You can go there. It's really looks like an internship program for, similar to Google Summer Code.
Why would we use that instead of the CNCF's community bridge program?
Community bridge?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where did outreachy come from? I've never even heard of it before.
So where this came from is so Mike Perez saying, hey, we've got funding basically for, I guess with the Ceph project upstream, they've used outreachy before, and they got out funding for 2 interns, and they said, oh, we'll get one for Ceph and one for Rook. And so it came from the Ceph side and just getting funding for 1 extra for Rook. So we just need to submit projects. I've signed up for it to manage it, and Blaine said he's also willing to be a mentor for it. I put a couple potential projects in the maintainers chat for consideration for them to choose from, and that's that's pretty much it. But let me put a link to outreachy.
Well, it's people working on a project. Like, I think we're not gonna say no to something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
What?
Didn't you just I don't know, shout or something?
The dog barked. Yeah, the dog. It was not me. That was the dog. Well, that's cool. So that's a third source then of funding. That, because Google Summer of Code, Google pays for that. CNCF Community Bridge, CNCF pays for that, and then outreachy. It sounds like is that so Red Hat is doing the funding for that then?
Right. Yeah. Pretty much.
Cool. So that's 3 independent sources of funding and availability for more new members to the community, which is cool. Cool.
Yep.
Okay. All right then. We don't have any listed PRs listed here. So if anybody had any issues or PRs they wanted to bring up, then now's the time. And otherwise, then I guess we can go ahead and wrap up the meeting then, if no other agenda items. All right, well, we'll see everybody online then.
All right, thanks. See ya.
Thanks, everybody.
Everybody, bye.
Yeah.